Hello everyone, Bert on your internet again, and winner chicken dinner time. Well, actually it's a slight lie because it's actually lunchtime and we're doing chicken sandwiches. Now, actually doing a bit of a comparison today, and this is interesting. First one I got is from Nando's, and if you don't have a Nando's in your city, Nando's is a Portuguese themed restaurant, oddly enough, South African based, specializing in chicken marinated in the Peri Peri chili pepper and flame grilled. And there's a place that opened up across the street not too long ago. They didn't put their name on it, but it's called Barcelo's. And it's a Portuguese themed restaurant based in South Africa, specializing in chicken marinated in the Peri Peri chili pepper and flame grilled. As I said, they don't put their labeling on their stuff here. The Barcelos, which is the newer of the Peri Peri chains in the Lower Mainland. Nando's well established for at least 20 years in the Lower Mainland. Barcelos had a place out in Surrey for a few years, but they just been pretty aggressive. They've been getting locations out. There's been 3 they've opened up in the last 6 months in the Lower Mainland, so they've been pretty aggressive. I don't know who they pissed off. I don't know who they're getting on board. I know just that Nando's is not expanding fast enough, and they are opening new locations, but I'm going to worry about that later. Here is I basically got identical items here, and again, the only difference is Nando's, of course, they have more money to put their label on stuff, so we can tell which is which. So, okay. So the item on my left here, this is the Barcelo's chicken sandwich. That has for very spice on it, and there you have on a Portuguese bun with the tangy mayo, lettuce and tomato, and then there's the grilled chicken patty on it. Now here's the Nando's chicken sandwich on a Portuguese bun with a chicken fillet and lettuce and tomato. Maybe a little more. Absolutely. Now, just by feel, again, I've never had this before. A little while since I've had the Nando's one, but the Barcelo's one, this bun feels softer. The bun is smaller. So let's go in with the Barcelo's first. The bun feeling a bit doughy. Mind you, I got it first from maybe absorb some of the grease from I'm feeling sort of the softness of the doughiness of almost like a partially cooked bun. I'm just going to get something because this is dripping some grease here. this is what the grease does to a bed sheet I had at hand here. I had to get a little beverage too. It's probably a good idea I cleanse the palate. I'm just going to get on to the Nando's sandwich next. So there's a bit of a spice to it. I said I was tasting sort of the buns felt kind of doughy, but again I had sort of left it for a few minutes, so they I may have disqualified that from there. I say it feels like a softer bun. It tastes like a doughier bun. You sort of have that little bit of like a yeast taste from the bun there. The chicken is pretty firm. It's not really tough. I say very edible. I say good amount of spice. I'm still feeling the spice right now. So I say good kick to it. On to Nando's here. So upon first impression, the bun, it felt harder, it tastes harder, much more firmer texture. The chicken itself just seemed to be a little bit more softer. There's a more evidence of a sweetness and a bit of saltiness to it as well. I think the flavor is a lot more pronounced in the with the Nando's fillet as opposed to the Barcelo's fillet. And also, you taste a little bit more of the charring. You taste more of the flame grilled flavor there in the Nando's sandwich. Back to Barcelo's comparison here. Now, again, these things are a little bit odd when you think about, what is it doing to my mind? What is it doing to my tongue right now? This will be an interesting. Let's look at the grease from that. Barcelo's here. I would need to finish this off first just to get some of the grease off of this. But again, I was tasting more of the charring, and again, I don't know how exactly to start cooking this thing. But again, I'm not seeing sort of the grill marks on this, and I'm not tasting that. Again, I mean, gee, this is a good sandwich. But again, just seems to be, missing a lot of stuff in comparison with the Nando's has there. I say, I may need to re-review this, maybe sort of fresh one time. But again, the bun. I say it's so. I mean, it's greasier and it's soaked up a lot of grease and it's become softer in the process. Back to the Nando sandwich. I think what Barcelo's is proving is that you can't go wrong with a good recipe. They have a good um, it's a good, I mean, it's a good process. It's they are basically sort of picking up where Nando's left off, and they're coming up with a good product. But I think Nando's is a better product. It's just that the bun is harder. The charring, the flame grilling is more evident. They're doing, I think, a better job of basting. It is producing more flavor. Barcelo's, is marinated in the peri peri. Again, maybe it's a little different because what I wound up was a bit of a maybe a greasier item. And again, maybe if that's not your thing. If you want to avoid this, if you want to avoid this, um, then I would think that again the Nando's, even though it's gone a bit, Nando's a bit messy before. I think that the Nando's chicken is the better assembled, better put together product. So, um, and as I'll explain, these franchises later, is sort of like Barcelo's is good if there's not a Nando's there. But then again, they're putting these things right next to a lot of Nando's, which I just don't understand the logic of. And again, it's good. I just think that Nando's is better in this matter. One thing we haven't done, I'll do it right now. Just go to the French fries they got here, and I got basically classic fries from both places here. These are the Nando's fries, and kind of thick cut with a coating on it, so not fresh made, but again, the coating's very crisp and good. Good filling on the inside, so that is a good French fry. Well, this is still the Nando's bag. This is the Barcelo's bag, and these are their fries. This is huge, and again, I think maybe they got a similar supplier, similar concept, kind of similar size, sort of medium, sort of. I don't know what the right French fry term is, but it's sort of like it's a medium thing. It's got a very crisp coating to it. Nando's one seemed to be a bit saltier, I would say. I mean, it probably put a little more oil into the fries there. So again, it was more evident sort of the flavor they put in the Nando's fries as opposed to the Barcelo's fries. I mean, it's interesting because they say overall, Barcelo's is good. I mean, this is a good thing. The prices are identical, and I think they do a very again. It's a very good. It's a good tribute band to a good product. But I say as I mean, say if you hear a good cover band, it's not the same as if when you heard the real deal from the person who wrote it. And again, I still have to look up these franchise histories here, but I still think Nando's is making the better product there. As good as Barcelo's is, Nando's is the better product. So in my rating scale, 3 out of 5 for Barcelo's. It's a good curiosity item. If you got one close to where you live and Lower Mainland, they're really wrapping up the locations. They got one in Burnaby. They've got one in food court at the Twas Mills Mall. They opened one up just off Darlington Highway in North Vancouver. Nando's, there's a lot of them. I think it's got to be at least 15, I think, by now, and they're in food courts, and they're all over the Lower Mainland, and they're in Edmonton, Calgary, and they're in Toronto. They're in a couple of U.S. cities. So, as I said, I think, so 3 out of 5 for Barcelo's. It's a good curiosity item, but I still think Nando's is the better item. Again, they were both about $13 each without a drink. So again, because of the price, I'd have to put Nando's as a destination item. But I think I'm still more likely to frequent the Nando's than the Barcelo's. Again, Barcelo's is good, but it's not it's not better. And as I say, I don't think it's worth. In my mind, it's not worth crossing the street for. And again, I would only recommend it if you do not have a Nando's in your area. Because Barcelo's is good, but Nando's is better, as I've said about 7 times in this review, and probably going to edit that once we get to it. So anyway, that's all for now, and hopefully these videos will be coming up at some point. And click like, subscribe, and all the stuff that you do in videos. So bye bye.